Our next speaker, Mr. Ganesh Shankar, who's the founder and CEO of Fluxgen. Mr. Ganesh, over to you.
I should say, after hearing Gokul, I'm really inspired. I hope I can keep up with that level of emotion. I'm probably a decade older than him. A decade back, I had a dream and I got up and what you're seeing in that screen, I thought this is the world I should live in, where there should be I should be surrounded with whatever I want near me. And with that, I'll start this presentation. I would be talking a bit about how it all started. I can see some young engineers out there in the backside. Probably that could be an inspiration on how to start a company. How a son of a teacher can also be an entrepreneur. And I'll tell about, I'll just ask probably very relevant, how do we get energy and water today, especially Bangalore, considering what we are going through. A bit about climate crisis, how it's very important context for this discussion. And I also want to tell them it's just not about how New York, Bombay is going to be submerged, it's much more than that. And then I'll talk about a potential solution using ICT. Then a case study, and I would probably conclude with an interesting quote by Franz Kafka. Okay, so I studied in the Institute of Science. I did my master's there. Before that also, most of my education was public funded. Previously, all the taxpayers enabled me to do my education. I worked on something called ion trap mass spectrometer. I was a joint state of Supercomputing Education Center and Instrumentation. Then, fortunately, I got placed in General Electric. I worked in aviation and then in energy meter. So that's the energy meter that I was part of, team in that team. And it helped me at that point of time realize that probably I should work in energy, sustainability and things like that. That's how I got into that field. And later, I set up this company where we were monitoring sustainable solutions like solar and things like that. And that helped me understand that data science and IoT is very important to enable this system, manage this. I am also visiting faculty at the Institute of Science, and Institute of Science has also helped me build products. So I should be very thankful. So I thought start with a thank you note to my alma mater, Institute of Science. So let me ask this question: how do we get energy and water? I think most of you here would know, but still, I would start with this. When you, I do this in my class in ISC, but I would not do that here. Basically, we get it from a very far off place. There's a thermal power plant or a utility scale energy generation plant, and it goes through increasing the voltage and reducing this so that there's a I squared R loss reduced. And then there's a substation, again voltage reduced, and you would get it. So when I think about it, I think this is too cumbersome. Let me come to that point after I talk about water. So while I talk to you today, we get water from nearly 120 kilometers from Kaveri. Bangalore, when at least I was growing up, was told there is a city of lakes. Actually, even probably before, you know, the majestic bus stand was Kempambudi Lake. It doesn't exist. So it was full of lakes. And most of our water used to come from lakes, historically. But today, we get it from 120 kilometers. And you know, Bangalore is at a very high altitude. It used to be called as honeymoon destination as well. Can't tell it now. But when this water comes, there's so much of energy waste utilized to pump it, purify it, recycle, and then finally it comes to us. I mean, Suez is doing a great job in that by making sure Coimbatore is getting water 24/7, but Bangalore, that's not the case, so we should really like to see. But if you think of it, at the core level, we have gone wrong, right? I mean, a city which has 400 lakes and today a handful of lakes. So it comes to a point that we are already wasted, our planning somewhere gone wrong. So this is somewhere related to climate crisis. I would use the word crisis because that's the semantic that we should use today, for what's happening in this world. So because, NASA has made this research and got this data that the temperature is definitely increasing. And if it is increasing in this, it is proven it is man-made. Of course, there was a theory that the sun cycle is going to create that, but that's not true. Today we accept that, right? And climate crisis is just not about, as I said, New York going out of water, filled with water, or Mumbai filled with water. It's because this is a warmer planet, the water cycle is going to change. The people who used to habitate in those places historically may not be the perfect place to habitate today. And warmer planet also leads to a lot of contagious diseases, right? It's just not about what. So, and there's natural disaster. I mean, if not, Jeff Bezos would not pledge 10% of his wealth for climate change. And this is somewhere related to how we consume water and energy. What could have been a meter away or 100 meters away, what we could have got water, we are getting from hundreds of kilometers away, right? So then I thought, what is a solution to this? So that's how I probably started my entrepreneurial career as well. What should I be doing? I mean, we come from the land of Mahatma, be the change you want to see. So I thought the local energy and water management should be done. There should be local energy generation, local water generation and consumption. The more you move away from the epicenter, then you're actually making sure that you're wasting a lot of things, right? So I came up with this idea that we should probably be generating electricity through renewable energy, and you should be storing water either through rainwater or probably regenerate lakes. I hear one of the lady talking about lakes, so probably I should want to talk to you again after this. So probably have these sources and consume it locally. So this is my thesis on how sustainability or circular economy probably works. I mean, if it is possible, Bangalore, at least the outskirts of Bangalore or other new cities, smart cities that are being developed, if the policy makers think about it, it is probably local energy generation, local distribution. Probably also a bit inspired by the Kannada movie Super by Upendra, Superstar Upendra. So, but the problem today is, can it be like managed? I mean, if you have a big grid, there can be a big utility that could manage the grid. But when it's so small, can it be managed? So that's where, I mean, there will be like a fault in the system and the whole grid would be off. If there's no water, there's a leakage or water wastage in this facility, then again, there's no water availability. So, and if there's somebody consuming more than what is required and it's a limited source of electricity, then it's a problem. And if one person is consuming all the water, all the energy, then there's again a problem. So, this is a challenge, of course, there. So, I see information communication technology can play a role, right? I mean, you have this monitoring system, considering the fact that I myself worked in a company like General Electric. You would monitor energy and water in these places, and you could find out where there is inefficiencies or some kind of a loss that you can mitigate. In that way, you're basically able to ensure that these small grids, like a mini grid, can still work, whether it's a water, electricity, or even gas. There could be a local grid. Gas could be through biomass, of course. So applying ICT, you would probably put a wireless sensor network or a GSM network. You'd be able to connect to the grid or connect to the network. And fortunately, India, we have more network than electricity in many places. So, and water for sure. I mean, it's we have a ministry for water. So we really have shortage of water. You could actually manage this through this kind of a monitoring system, like health monitoring controller system, right? This was the idea. And solution, again, using predictive maintenance and solution, we could do that. So let me come to a case. I mean, what we have done. I mean, like how we have been able to help a facility, and then I'll tell you how we built a company around it. So this Titan Jewelry company, a Tata company, told we have energy, water available through aquifers. We want to utilize that alone, and we have rainwater harvesting. We want to utilize that water alone, and we know there's continuous consumption of water is increasing regularly every year. We don't know where that water is getting wasted. So we put up this IoT-based water monitoring system, like where the solar panel to power these devices. They told we can't provide electricity everywhere. We monitor the water flow, water level, water pressure, energy consumed by water infrastructure in different places, up to 50 on different locations. And we were able to identify through our dashboard where there is leakage, wastage, excessive usage, to reduce that overall consumption every 5% every quarter through identifying this leakage. Today we have very prehistoric way of managing water, while the situation of water availability is not prehistoric, right? The context is different. So of course we have high-end technology for gaming, entertainment, but when it comes to water, we have very low-end. Fortunately, we built this solution 4 years back when this helped in managing, and we also did a very good visualization to identify how much availability of water is there, how much water could be utilized to build production. And coming from the source to the destination, entire storage, we're able to identify leakage, wastage, excessive usage in this premise campus. what used to be a visual inspection to find out wastage and leakage, even in underground pipes, we were able to do it through ICT. So this was a clear context, and we also got a repeat order from them. So I'm sure they like it, and they want to they want us from other places in their facilities in India as well. So this led to our product. I mean, this also helped us. What we did for one company, we became our product, and we called as Aquagen. Today we have won about interesting, important awards in smart cities, IoT, but more than that, we have the solution which can be plug and play. I mean, we don't make water flow meters or any of these things. We integrate a IoT cloud connector with any of this water infrastructure device, and we help them connect to the cloud to find out leakage and wastage. Of course, we give you, our dashboard helps in identifying where that happens, and so that what would take a day or two to fix a problem, it can happen in less than 20 minutes. Okay, so yes, I mean, my time is up. So we have a bunch of customers who have been we are fortunate to find them, and they are the conscious people who realize that water is not something that can be wasted. We have to manage it, and we have helped them reduce up to 30% of water consumption in many of these facilities. And we also help them do contextual consulting using the data to reduce their water wastage every quarter. So thank you so much for this opportunity. I end with a quote by Franz Kafka, by passionate. Okay, so it is like, if the non-existent is what that is not sufficiently desired. So I urge all the youngsters to think of this. Hope this speech also helps in identifying that that anybody sitting here can be an entrepreneur and be an employment generation person for the country. Thank you so much.
I think that's really wonderful. Probably in my lifetime, I'll be able to see a completely self-sustainable home. Everything in my home, hydroponics, grow my own vegetables, have your own renewable resources. So that's great. Thanks, Ganesh, for that.